Whoops, I can't type. Oh man, I started the recording already. I'm boosted. That's okay. Let's see, what else do I need? Okay, I think we're good. Alrighty. Oh, I should run a test of this thing first. You never know if it's actually working. It is. Good. Then in we go. Hey, it's March 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to Jaraci Cup number 8. Sorry for the long wait, but we are finally casting the semifinals, which were played about a week ago, if I remember correctly. This between myself and Moose, so unfortunately I do know, of course, who's going to win this series, but I won't spoil it for you guys, of course. And of course the winner of this will move on to the finals, so obviously I know who's going to be playing in those as well, but again, I will not say. So Moose is going to be picking Saban here. I'm going to be picking Galzian. First game, I'm going to go ref mode first here, but I do actually retire the base runner. And I'm doing that because this is something that A-Game has been doing recently, and he's had a lot of success with it, so I was a little bit skeptical at first, but it seems to be a pretty nice build here. Like going through the pick bans here, I banned Kalash Teeth just to get rid of the AAV rush potential. He banned the Shallows because obviously he really does not like that map at all. Firebase Crow was his pick, and I was thinking, okay, well if I can win the first game off of some kind of an eco build like this, maybe I can like double Rail Rush and just hammer him out of the series. So my picks were the Boneyard and then Galzian Territories. Feeling pretty good about that. Moose picked Tauren Crater for game 4, and then I picked Canyon Outpost for the ace match game 5 if we were to get to that point. Refinery mode coming out for me, as I mentioned, it's about 30 seconds out here, so I'm going to be done pretty soon. And LEV Fab started for Moose, of course he's going to do this build. Not going greedy at all, he just wants to play properly. LEV Fab, after getting the Sport Cruiser, is very, very standard, and then he'll probably fly out a probe too, but remains to be seen. Just wants to know, of course, if he's going to get rushed or anything like that. Playing against me, you know, you got to figure it's quite common to get rushed, so... But one thing that I wasn't aware of going into this series is that Moose actually had felt very, very confident in holding the Rail Rush. He didn't really worry too much about it, so... yeah, it's not really a given that I'm going to be able to just, like, win games 2 and 3, as it would be against a lot of opponents because of the map picks there, so... I was feeling really confident, right? But Moose was not too afraid. Pity he can't be in the chat here, but this is kind of my only window to cast it, so we're gonna have to do this without him. But he'll definitely give his thoughts in the comments when I finally post this crap on YouTube. Who knows when that'll be. I swear it's coming though. I do see the probe here coming by on that scanner, so I moved the PC to try to intercept it then. I do manage to get that probe snipe, just a little bit slow for Moose to migrate out of the way. Does cost me a little bit of mining time, but I think that's probably worth it. Not in terms of like numbers, but in terms of just denying what I'm doing here. Which is in fact going to be probably very greedy up onto 3 base here. I'm probably not going to go for a tech too quick because I don't feel any pressure from my opponent. He's just now starting AV Fab, which is pretty late. He hasn't gotten the production upgrade either, so he's clearly planning on going to eco as well. So we'll see what I end up doing here. Obviously these skims that are scouting are going to be sort of the important information in that regard. But he's actually kind of warding me off. I can't really get in there, so unable to get information on what exactly he's doing. Just gonna go for the blind PC then. I do feel it's pretty safe here, but I didn't technically see that carry until just now. But I did see at that moment, okay, no AV tech, no air, so we are good to go. So it's gonna be really fast 2 PC for me then. And characteristic of my play, I do manage to get fleet capped here, but it's kind of okay. If you can go this long without having to get fleet capped 25 or 45, it's kind of a nice feel because you manage to expand your economy really, really quickly. Hey, it's Scott Hates Weeds. I don't usually cast this early, so he's normally unable to join, unfortunately, but Looks like Moose gonna take a okay trade here. What do I mean by that? It's infinitely good. And just get that skimmer for nothing, so does deny the scouting on that third base location when I'm gonna get it. And that is important because of course he hasn't expanded, he doesn't want me to know that, so he does have a couple AVs coming out across the field now. But Assault Chip Fab started for me. I'm gonna get that second PC coming out too. There it is. That means I'll be filled out on 3 base pretty darn quickly here. And Moose, I don't believe, is building... Well, actually, take it back. Oh, but he's just actually now filling out the second base location there, so... Yeah, he will look to pressure a little bit with these AVs now, but now that I'm looking at it, this is a little bit slow from him, because I was saying before, like, the reason I felt confident going 2PC here is because he's not really going for, like, not really going for an aggressive build, he's going for eco instead, but he's only just now filling out the salvagers on his second base there, actually, so this is a little bit slow from Moose, all things considered. Only problem I may have is, of course, we do have AVs pressuring me now. The base runner is in tow as well, but he's going to turn around now. Just looking to see if maybe he could drop a targeting jammer, but opportunity did not present itself. But I'm only just now finishing a Soul Chip Fab, so I'm going to have to get those guys queued up and then get the tech ASAP here. Uh-oh. I wanted to queue one from this guy and then start armor, but then I guess the guy tried to queue from like this guy instead. I could have like canceled the... Oh, I did cancel the base runner. That was a little bit messy, but I seem to have gotten my macros sorted out in the end. This Assault Chip is going to be late though because of that. We'll have armor 1 done though, but Moose is actually taking armor 2. Still though, this number of skims still pretty healthy. We'll be able to fight off that that AV with the help of the Assault Chip that's popping out just now. He does have high ground on this hill though, so that's actually quite nice for him, but yeah, obviously these Soul Chips are such a present threat that it kind of allows the skims to tank the damage from the AVs, and I can go for trades actually with the Sand Skimmers, which ordinarily you couldn't do against a counter unit like this. Soul Chip here actually gonna get killed though. Skims managed to jump on this guy though. He actually used the smoke at a very, very nice timing. But once that expires, you gotta imagine this guy will just die instantly. Might even just get killed by splash damage at this rate. But he's actually still alive for now. Base runner did pop out and kill the probe. I wasn't quite able to mention that, but that did happen. Looks like Skims is going to be relegated to finishing off this AV here, but he need to be a little bit scarce because he does have the high ground here, narrowly avoiding losing this Assault Chip here. And Moose getting an extraction out of that will feel nice about this. But he does have problems where I'm on 3 base for a long time now, and he still isn't, so a little bit tough for him there. He does have armor 3 before me, though, so I'm just now teching that about 10 seconds away. And he's got that targeting jammer. You gotta imagine, there's a possibility of making a big play here. And where are these Soul Chips for me? I should definitely have more right now. I've gotten only like 4 out at this time. Oh, I see. One of them was actually just building. Okay, never mind. Targeting jammer drops on the Assault Chip here, though, which is definitely what he wanted to do. Manages to eliminate the DPS from that guy, but I do manage to grab onto this hill here, so gonna lose 1 AV, not really gonna be able to trade back, I don't think. Actually, he probably could have killed this guy if he stuck in just a bit longer, but there's possibilities that he gets all in at that point. He does pull me off the main base, though, and that's already, honestly, pretty good value. Looks like this push is not gonna last forever, though, because obviously we are losing a lot of AVs here, so he'll probably have to back off at this point. And he's just now getting his third base filled out, so I don't feel too bad, really, about losing the mining here. Although, of course, in-game I didn't know this. So I was thinking, yeah, he actually did manage to get off a pretty good attack here. You know, now that I think about it, those vaults might actually still be up if, like me, you know, in first person playing these games here. But now you should have noticed, of course, Interceptor Tech is done. I've built 2 of them. Building them pretty slow, though, because I feel like I can't quite... you know, like, I need money for these Assault Chips here. And as a result, like, Missile Battery Fab finished a while ago, actually, and Moose has just now built his first one. He may have actually seen the carrier, and that's why he just built it now, but I'm not sure. But at any rate, he's got the timing on that very nice, so... I'm just about ready to maybe, like, consider using these Interceptors. I'm going to launch them, as you can see here, but he's already got Missile Batteries defending on the main, so... If I'm planning on attacking over here, it might be a bit unfortunate. I still am ignoring chat, apparently. Looks like the Interceptors is going to be used to win the armor battle in the midfield here. Obviously, they do dump quite a bit of damage on the ground targets there. Base runner heal going to pop 2. This guy might actually get out. It looks like he will. Some shenanigans going on the other side as well, but yeah, this is quite nice for me. I could still throw this assault ship, to be honest, but I probably won't. He'll probably get out of there. Dot, dot, dot. Yeah, no, it looks like he's safe. Starting to tech power reserves as well as siege cruiser fab, and I still haven't gotten my third PC mind. I don't seem to feel any need to really unlock carrier here. Personally, I think that's actually right. I used to always say that like unlocking the carrier was this big benefit, but I'm starting to realize with the cost of units, like maybe you really just need to not do it so quick. So I'm sort of trying to apply that in this game, as you can see. Assault ships warded off there just by an ALM and a couple of AVs. They're not going to be able to poke in, but this does force a bit of the army from Moose to be over on this side. And you have to realize every time that your opponent's army has to go to one side of the map, that does open things up on the other side. I do have a bit of a flank getting prepared here with some assault ships ready to push in through this angle. But in the meantime, I am going to get an extract out, which is very nice for me too, to even that scoreline. And Siege Cruiser Tech is done, as maybe you saw it. Range upgrade on the way for me. I think I saw the missile batteries though, so I probably am not... I'm probably not unaware that that's something that he's got, but hard to remember. Like I said, it's been about a week since we played these, so. For Siege Cruiser pops on the field now. Now there are assault cruisers, by the way, for Moose, but he's also teched into artillery, so he already has that tech done, but he hasn't built any just yet. I see the assault cruiser though. I know that you know there's really nothing I can do about this. So I try and split those assault ships to try and just keep them alive for a bit longer, but they actually get outrun by AAVs, so there's not really any option to keep these guys alive. That flank really does just collapse, but if I can stay alive for long enough as I just kind of run away here, obviously that does open up windows for these guys to get in through the midfield, so. Feeling okay about this. I kind of felt like he had overchased. I think he's actually got assault cruiser anti-air though. Yeah, he does. Oh yeah, look at this. I'm actually checking for it. So I sent one interceptor out there, and he got hit, so I was like, yeah, he's got AC anti-air. So I actually knew that he had it. That's pretty cool. I forgot about that. Here's the fight, though, as the assault ships are fighting the assault cruiser here, but it actually uses the TAC missile barrage at a bad location, manages to kind of miss them. I'm really bunching up here, though. This is not how I want to play this. Yeah, and now the army that was on the flank here has gotten back in time, so they're going to be able to dump a lot of damage onto these assault ships, although... You know, saying that, this barrage is coming out from the siege cruiser, so we do have some respite, but... Oh, there's the artillery from Moose, though. It is finally done, as you can see. It's going to attempt a precision barrage, actually, on the siege cruiser. He's almost going to kill it. Whoa. Gets it really low there. Heal actually popped on the assault cruiser, which is a little interesting at the moment. I think he maybe meant to hit overcharge, but hit the wrong ability there. I've definitely done that before. And just a defensive barrage to try and keep these assault ships alive, but actually Moose taking a very, very nice trade there. Manages to even up the units lost tab in a big way. So that's quite big for him. Looks like carrier unlock finally coming out for me. But I do already have those two siege cruisers, and I did go into rail tech as well. Sorry I keep missing the tech switches. I'm a little bit slow here, it seems. I'm kind of bombarding my own units there, but that's alright. Looks like EMP was done too, though. I actually didn't notice this either. It's gonna isolate a few of these units, but you do still expect these assault ships to go down. Assault cruiser's pretty beefy when it comes to dealing with armor. Armor 3 definitely helping, though. I don't go down so fast, and it may actually get me a kill here if this assault cruiser gets low enough. Ooh. Yeah, another barrage is ready. If I barrage right now, I probably will kill this thing. I guess maybe I'm not looking at it. Does it go down anyway? No way. Yeah, it does survive there. My carrier being brought over to this location as well. Looks like clearly I want to fight for this one. He's got one more assault cruiser. This is definitely an overextend. He really doesn't have anything to back this up. Interceptor's just gonna have to dock, but I think this guy's actually gonna get himself killed, which is a bit unlucky for me. Whoa. That support cruiser. Not just getting EMP'd, he's going every which way. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, with the carrier here, I should just be able to step on everything if I just kind of click on it. I'm not obviously going to be too overconfident here, but you know, at least this flank is definitely sort of neutralized for my opponent. It's actually going to dump a tech missile barrage onto it on the way out. Uh-oh, Precision Barrage doing a lot of damage to the Siege Cruiser, though. Really needs to get out of here. Oh my gosh. I could just lose this to auto-fire if I'm not aware. Ooh. Oh, the base runner heal again, though. Actually managed to keep that thing alive once more. And it actually gets the kill on that assault cruiser, so good thing too. It saved the railgun from certain death. Pretty narrow margins I'm playing with over there. The thing is, railguns are really effective here at stopping those assault cruisers, but one thing that's so great about assault cruiser tech unlocking artillery tech for the coalition forces is that, like, that's a really, really natural counter to railgun spam, so I can't just build like a million of them, you know what I mean? I'm gonna lose for that, so... Right now I'm feeling like I need more frontline, I need more assault ships, so that's kind of what I'm investing into. And sure enough, I'm gonna catch these artillery cruisers a little bit out in the open. Another extract, probably gonna go down, by the way, although Moose actually has an AAV in that location, but doesn't seem to be using it right now. Just a little bit of a mistake from him. One artillery cruiser gonna go down pretty much for free there, and that's obviously a big deal when you're playing like coalition. These artillery cruisers are expensive. You're actually gonna lose the second one too. A lot of power teching on this Savant carrier though, and we know what kind of a nightmare that can be for the Galician player. So this is definitely far from over, but it's looking pretty good for me all of a sudden. But like just about 5 minutes before, I'd say Moose had really kind of taken the game back, and he was doing a really good job. So, a bit unfortunate for him. Power 3 actually, I guess, finishing for both of us, but he's got it a little bit faster. And the thing is, at this point, I really wanted to press this advantage. I'm looking at this now, like, I really want to play like a slow game here, just picking him apart and flanking more than I am right now. But right now, I felt like in the game I wanted to just focus on one front line here, rather than sort of continuing that push, but it seems like I'm kind of losing some pressure for that, so... Yeah, Siege Cruisers actually do have anti-air, by the way. It was apparently buffed in like the last patch. I'm not actually quite aware of like when that happened, but it used to be like really like unnoticeable almost. But as you can see, it kills that probe pretty quickly now. This assault cruiser here gonna kill these railguns without too much difficulty, but it does have the armor break on it from the Sunder, so I'm gonna try to use that to get these assault ships to finish the kill on them. Yep, there it goes. Really nice precision barrage again, though, from that artillery cruiser. This is going to actually kill one of the siege cruisers, but a really beefy barrage here lands on everything. And then I'm thinking that these assault ships can just kind of push in as well. We've got railguns obviously on the back line. I really want to be focusing down this artillery cruiser. I do get it. But the targeting jammer, really nice for Moose here. Manages to completely stop these assault ships in their tracks before they can get up on the support cruisers. Carrier's still low though, so this is still a pretty nice trade for me, and I do have a little bit of a flank going on here as I do bring some assault ships onto the back line. Only problem is this base is actually starting to mine out, like if you check on my side. Which, remember I had some mining delays as well, but I'm already down to like 500, so... not really going to be too impactful to push him off of his main, as you can see only the RUs are left there, but always nice to do if you can, and this does mean of course he has to deal with those guys. Another artillery cruiser pops for Moose, though. He's got assault cruisers in the hood, too. I've lost my carrier many times like this, so I'm not gonna risk it this time. I'll choose to just kind of back away here. These assault ships as well, at this point, maybe a little bit overextended. They're maybe gonna die here. Oh, they don't get the salvagers either, but... At this point, the salvagers are really only worth, like, a bit of RU, or a bit of CUs when they get retired, so it's not a huge deal to kill them anyway. Because obviously with that main base being mined off, not a huge problem for Moose if he doesn't manage to get those. Looks like a couple skims being built by me now. I need to worry about that though, because I am about to mine out here on the main, so... If you dump a bunch of CUs into skims, just kind of thinking like, well, you know, I want to just... I need to spend all this money. It can actually go away surprisingly quickly, but... I'm getting the rating upgrade, which means I probably want to commit into this a little bit. And to be fair, having some skims with rating is really big in these moments, because... It really helps you have more field control, you know, and be able to, like, duck in and out and force your opponent to react to things where maybe he wouldn't like to. And that's obviously what I want to do, because this would be the game-winning artifact if he gets out, so I have a lot of pressure in that regard. Oh, I think I remember how this goes now. I won't spoil anything, but it's a little bit silly. I do have Rail EMP now, by the way, so take note of that. You know what A-Game always recommends doing in this situation is spamming assault railguns, actually. Again, a bit of a CU sink. They don't cost nearly as many RUs as heavies, but they they have that same ability that the Sand Skimmers do to sort of like draw your opponent out and poke. I think that, you know, they kind of both do that job pretty well. Oh yeah, here's the moment. So I'm just gonna drive my carrier in here as I have the game-winning artifact picked up, like into a bunch of Assault Cruisers and a Saban carrier. This is like very troll. I shouldn't be doing this. I think I get away from this though. I mean, Power 5 is pretty good. But I have no idea why I was like trying to get myself killed there. To be fair though, I do actually really want to be pressuring my opponent and getting him to try and react on that side. Sand Skimmers, meanwhile, just gonna show up over here, but like really what I want to do is have like the carrier and the railguns on this side with the game-winning extracts, right, ready to escort it out of the zone. And then I want to have the Sand Skimmers over here pressuring on the bases, right? That's obviously kind of the best pattern for winning here, but anyway, despite giving my opponent a small opportunity to kill my carrier there, I do have that game-winning artifact getting out. I haven't died yet, so it looks like that is gonna be the game. And yeah, sorry Maze, but your one true love in life did not win this game. Lost for the Saban forces. But it is only game 1, so let's go ahead and jump into game 2 of this series. It's going to be, of course, on the Boneyard. As I said, this was my pick for game 2. And you know why I picked it, obviously. I have a very strong rail rush on the Boneyard, so this is a map that I kind of want to abuse that strategy if I can. And I was thinking, like, if I get the good spawn, I'm definitely going to go for it. But if I get the bad spawn, I kind of want to do it anyway. And I kind of remember thinking, I'm sure I mentioned this to stream chat, like, this is probably a bad idea, because obviously the way that these dunes are set up, pressuring that second base safely is really, really tough. You don't have a good, like, angle onto it. And this dune here will always cause you problems. And if you try to, like, camp on his third, this dune here will cause you similar problems. So I kind of knew this is, like, maybe not the best idea, but I wanted to try for it anyway. I think it's a little bit unfortunate, just competitively speaking, that, like, there is a spawn bias on the Boneyard, but, you know, suffice to say, I was aware of it. This is not, like, I didn't realize that, like, this spawn was bad for rail rushing. Just gonna go for it anyway. I was very confident. Like I said, I didn't realize that Moose really felt like quite confident in holding the rail rush strategy. And he does it just going SC first. He's not doing anything fancy here, so... That support cruiser is on the way, going 6 up as always. Boneyard ult. I mean, honestly, it would not be bad. I just don't know what the... I don't know. Like, some of the alt maps, it's pretty obvious, like, here's what you should change to fix it, but, like, this one I'm not sure. Someday we may have a custom layout for this, but I don't know what it would be. Well, I'm gonna say again, man, if we could make custom maps, like, design the terrain and everything, oh my gosh, we'd have some, like, really good, like, tournament maps for sure. But yeah, it's really a pity we can't do that. Oh, look at that clutch spin. He got that, like, right on time to pop the salvager out. Very nice. Real tech is on the way, of course, as you expect from me, very, very early, before the 28-minute mark. Before 28 minutes, that doesn't sound early. You know what I mean, we count backwards in this clock, because... Did you know there's like another clock right there, but the replay UI just covers it up, so we can't see it. Which is pretty troll, but, what you gonna do? Like they have in, like, Age of Empires. I actually kind of like, you know, preset maps better for competition personally, but I could see the appeal. Well, see, the thing is, I think, like, the pick-ban phase actually really involves quite a lot of nuance as far as, like, competition goes, and players who are willing to put in, like, the time and have the skills to, like, learn a really wide, like, map pool often can gain an advantage from it just in, like, forcing their opponent to play on maps that they don't really want to. It's really fascinating to see that play out in tournament play, so I actually really like the, like, preset map format, but... Obviously, procedurally generated maps have worked for competition, though. If you look at, like, Age of Empires, that's what they do. By the way, I should mention what's actually going on in the game. This is something I often do against Saban. I'm trying to, like, fight for logistics modules, and I'm gonna get it this time. It's because Moose is typically very slow to get that carry production upgrade down. if I bring the skims over and start attacking those, like, ALMs there, obviously he has to bring the carry over to deal with it. This is what we saw. And when he throws the targeting jammer, it didn't even really do anything because he doesn't have any army to follow up just yet. So I actually felt pretty confident just, like, going for those trades because I was going to deny the mining time here anyway. And maybe I could get an ALM, which I did, so feels pretty worth it to me. There are obviously thoughts of, like, is it really worth it to have not really stopped those salvagers from long distance mining. Second PC's out for me, or almost out for me, by the way. It's about, like, 2/3 of the way. Bit of carrier damage getting taken now, but I do need to worry about that targeting jammer. The cooldown on it rather low, so it is already up. March 1's actually been talking with A-Game about trying to get that cooldown nerfed, actually. And I think... No, it wasn't the cooldown, it was the range, I think, of deployment. But as I'm looking at it now, it's actually 80 seconds, which is a bit longer than I remember. I remember it being something like 40, but now that I think about it, that would be absurd. There's that targeting jammer now, and this is actually a pretty nice engage for Moose, all things considered. Oh, it was the range, I see. I can still kite out with these assault rails, but he took a pretty positive trade there, and as I'm saying, well, 2 for 2. Wow, massive numbers. But that is impactful because he got this ground here, and his carrier being very comfortably on the second base is very, very good for the player who's defending the rail rush, because if you can just keep your second base up, you're basically winning. If you're stuck on one base, you're not really winning. That's kind of how I view rail rush anyway. I mean, part of the thing that's frustrating about dealing with this strategy is that, like, it can still have a chance of winning even when your opponent is on 2 base like this, but you don't typically expect that it will. I mean, generally this is kind of a hold for Moose. And he was actually floating fighter and gunship tech there, and then floating AAV tech, but rail tech is definitely the right option. Uh-oh, he's gonna go back to fighter and gunship though. Oh hey, it's A-Game. He can comment on my last statement there. Maybe give a bit of context, but definitely fighter and gunship tech here has got to be a mistake. Uh-oh, before we get back into that though, this could be a really big engage. The targeting jammer's just come off a cooldown, but these LEVs gonna have high ground either way. Yep, there it is. It lands on everything. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is not great. These LEVs don't want to be here, though. They already got the damage. Now they're just kind of trading in for nothing. The focus fire is also not really there. Oh my gosh, it's not there for me either, though. Ah, this is actually quite a bad trade for the LEVs. I guess it's because it's equal upgrades, which you don't usually see, but there wasn't any reason that Moose had to trade in there. He already got what he wanted, and now he's just kind of losing a lot of LEVs off of the blob for it, so... kind of frustrating for him, I imagine, but yeah, again, what I was saying before was that, like, I think that Rail Rush generally loses when the opponent manages to hold that second base, but it doesn't always. But, like, as the Rail Rushing player, if my opponent is on that second base, I feel like an immense pressure to get him off of it, because, like, in my mind, I'm actively losing if I can't, you know, stop him from mining there. Moose, by the way, taking a pretty firm upgrade lead here now. I've only got damage 1, but he has both the armor upgrades and damage 1 here, so... his LEV is going to be able to trade very, very effectively here. Yeah, right, like, I feel like I've got to do something to the base, and that's why I'm here. Normally I really wouldn't want to be taking trades, like, especially this close to the carrier, and look at that beautiful targeting jammer once again. This time it might not matter though, but this PC is rather abysmally slow. Levi's is gonna focus it for now, but you really don't want to go in too hard on the PC, because if you can kill it, it's definitely kind of game over for your opponent. But if you don't, you know, you're really gonna regret things. By the way, base spinner actually is out for me. I forgot that I had built one this game. Uh-oh, yeah, look at he is overcommitting onto that PC there. He's gonna get it low, but it doesn't really matter if it's low, right? If you can't finish the kill, it's really, really crippling to lose the LAVs for that. Yeah, and now the entire blob is dying, so this all of a sudden becomes kind of an all or nothing thing for him, and he's not going to get that condition. He's not going to get the all, so he gets the nothing. And this is looking a little bit terrible all of a sudden. Really 0 to 60 there. I mean, like, I feel like he was, even though he took that bad LAV trade earlier, he was still kind of winning until just now, but... I'm actually going to really go ham for this base runner here. I think I'm doing this because I really want to stop the targeting jammer from being deployed next time, but probably would have been smarter to kill the LAVs first, to be honest with you, but All of a sudden, Strike Fighter's launching though. I'm like, what the heck? Like, why would he be doing? Normally, you don't get air when you're dealing with a rail rush unless you feel like your opponent is going to. Unless you feel like your opponent is going to like go back to bases and you want to stop him from getting anything done there. So they're taking a lot of damage from. They're taking a lot of damage from the base runner as well there. Air is decent. I don't know, man. I still feel like it's kind of bad, but I guess this is maybe a debated topic. I mean, I have seen plays, obviously, where like the gunship will come in and do enough damage to the skims that the defending player can all in, right? But I just feel so risky to rely on that. Heavy rail is out, by the way. Oh yeah, I remember this. The air units actually can't get back in because the PC is body blocked for like the dock there. And I was actually doing that purposely. I was trying. Oh, I got the third one too. I was actually doing that on purpose. I was trying to get that play, but he could still have docked it by like going over here. So. Oh, I see. You're saying that because it's more about sand skimmers and like yeah, right. Well, perhaps you're right. I don't know. I still feel like it's bad because those PCs are going to be floating around the skim blob almost all the time, so it feels really risky, like you're just going to get donked by the PC anti-air, but I don't know. At any rate, it really didn't work out this game, but to be fair, it was definitely not his problem that he went for air. His big problem was the LAV trade over here after he got the targeting jammer and got a couple of assault rail kills, and then going all in on that PC when it was over here running this side. It just really was a big mistake, and I was able to capitalize massively off of that. So pretty long rail rush as things go, 9.5 minutes, but I do manage to take game 2. But I will say, like, already at this point, his ability to hold the rail rush was pretty impressive to me. Because it was clear, like, I didn't just win, you know what I mean? Clearly that was quite a fight there. And, you know, I think partly I was thinking, well, this is not really an indication I shouldn't rail rush in game 3, because I think it was more that spawn point on the boneyard. I didn't get the spawn that I wanted. I had the one that's not really very good for rail rushing, so I was just planning on doing it anyway again in this game 3. But, I think if I remember correctly, Moose has a bit of a different build up in mind here. Yeah, he does. So LAV Fab coming out here. He's got one guy on RUs, as you can see, but the rest of them are going to be on CUs. He does indeed build a couple long-distance miners as well. So this time it's going to be LAV rushing from him. And I need to kind of recognize that and get my second PC at a much faster timing than usual to deal with this. This is a very, very easy build to die to when you're doing rail rush, so it's not a bad call at all to mix this in a couple times if your opponent probably is going to rail rush you, and he has read me well. You know, yeah, okay, like, he's going to do it again. He won the last game off of it. This is GTL. They clearly picked it for the rail rush, so yeah, definitely a very nice read here by Moose. First LAVs are coming out across the field now. Okay, looks like we're gonna have the first contact now. Now, base runner is still here, of course, but he's actually kind of moving out toward that extraction, which would maybe be a little bit unfortunate for Moose. He doesn't really want to. He doesn't really want to have that base runner far away from the fight that may take place here. But I gotta say, for me, this feels a little bit out of touch because I've seen this many LAVs. I should really know already. Like, yeah, this is not SC first. He's clearly going for a real LAV spam strat here. So for me, I really need to be backing away here and trying to buy a bit of time so that I can get that second PC out. Trying to take a trade here seems really ambitious, but I do have high ground, so it looks like I'm gonna go 1 for 0, which is kind of nice. So actually, that's maybe not a bad call for me, but I do need to be really, really cautious here because if I get jumped on and lose this this PC, I really just lose the game. Production upgrade done by Moose now. I do have assault rails coming out, but again, like I really should know at this point already. This is LAV span, so I need to get out of here. Back up to maybe like this hill right here is kind of a good one to hold with like the assault railguns, and then you can stall for a lot of time there and get your second PC out as fast as possible. As for Moose, he's actually going armor 1 before he gets the assault pack. I would have done it the other way around because the assault pack gives you a really nice ability to just like jump on the Gaussian blob here if he ever makes like a positioning error. And you can really punish him and maybe win the game outright just because of it. But armor is like nice for the trades, but it's the lead up to the trade that you're really worried about when you have the advantage in numbers. Because obviously, you know, with the numbers that he's got here, 13-7, he definitely wins the trade. So it's just about getting up to that point that he's really concerned about. So, I mean, like in that last moment there where I like took a shot at one of these LAVs, if he had a soul pack, he probably could have just won the game right there. Indeed. Yeah, this looks pretty bad for me. He does have that armor 1 to be fair, so like the trade is, as I said, a little bit nicer, but again, it's not really the trade he wants to worry about. So I think Assault Pack still would have been better, but he is going to get kind of what he wants here. He's sort of backing away, though. I mean, I would actually press this attack, because he has a really nice ability to kill these Assault Rails here. He is going to return, and just to get 2 kills there. And now this PC definitely running for its life. I do have that second PC out now, but having lost a lot already, it's going to be really hard to get that Strikecraft superiority back up, especially when I have to trade them out to try and stop the PC from going down. But notice this time he's not going to make that same mistake. He instantly switches back onto hitting the Sandskimmers instead, so that is indeed what he wants to do. I do end up getting Sandskimmer Armor 1 to try and compete, but he's already got Armor 2 on the way, so... Hey, come on, I did macro in game 1, alright? You can't always say that. Yeah, I know, I do Rail Rush a lot, but it really is just my favorite build, what can I say? Anyway, not gonna lie, this is a very bad situation. You don't want to be here. Oh yeah, I did, of course. I wouldn't lie about that. Oh, this is a nice trade for me, though. I should go 2 for 1 there. It's kind of a small trade at the end, but still kind of nice for me to get. The real problem here, though, and this is kind of interesting to say, this is sort of the new meta since a couple tournaments ago, is that, like, this base runner is out here, right? This base runner is really just going to cause me a lot of problems because, you know, that Tardian Jammer, like, the threat of it is never going to go away. And the thing is, like, I really kind of need to continue the push here. My opponent still hasn't gotten onto 2 base, so I don't feel terribly, threatened by, like, his eco here, but, like, I can't just stop building skims because then these LAVs will kill me, but like the real threat then is that I always am going to be out in the midfield and this base sprinter can maybe land a good Tardian Jammer and get good trades for Moose. That's exactly what happened, so I was kind of talking about the theory as it was happening, which is maybe a bit lame. But that's whatever, he does manage to get both of those Assault Railguns dead, and then the Sandskimmers really just cannot, they can't trade in here, not only because of the upgrade lead, but he actually had some high ground there as well, so... Yeah, A-Game's analysis is indeed correct. And at this point I'm kind of panicking, I'm thinking going Assault Ship Fab. A-Game is saying just go straight to Honor Guards at this point, I believe, in the chat. He might have been right. There's not really any high percentage win rate move from here, though. This is a bad place to be, so... From here, my hope was, like, maybe I can hold off until I get, like, ref mode, but this is kind of dire. I think I ended up actually canceling Assault Ship Fab, though, because I realized, like, it's not gonna be great here because, obviously, like, the LAVs can just kind of run circles around them, and unless the skims are there, too, they're probably not gonna be able to trade well anyway, and then we're gonna have kind of that same problem that the Assault Railguns did, which is that Tardian Jammer. So yeah, sure enough, I do cancel that. And ref mode instead on the way. But this is still a dire situation, and really the only thing that Moose needs to do is build LAVs and continue expanding his eco, which he actually hasn't done, to be fair. Yeah, I agree with that, A-Game. Definitely, like, that amount of time spent on Assault Ship Fab. I mean, maybe I should have just finished it at that point, but it wasn't really great. And by the way, beautiful Tardian Jammer once again. I can't really just drive right through my carrier, because I'll get carrier blocked and he'll just trade on me, so... Splits the skims and the assault rails in a really nasty way. Unfortunately, I missed the det packs there as well, so not going to get any damage that way. And now, you know, the skimmer blob looking really small, down to 6, and he's got like 14 LAVs here, so not exactly where you want to be. At this point, we're kind of just waiting for Moose to get enough damage to where I'll surrender, so I'm sticking it in here, but like it's definitely not a likely situation to win. He'd have to make a massive mistake for me to win this game. Now that he's got the full upgrades, though, I really want to see him get a Sport Cruiser and just move up onto 2 base. That's definitely the play here. Carrier really has to bully the LAV blob now if it can, because Rift mode is done, of course. And like A-Game said, we really still need to go to Honor Guards too, but like it's going to take so long to get here. Yeah, that's a good point. Uh-oh. I do have Power 1 finished as well here, so we have the weapons charged at the same time, but it's not really much of a chance of us to get out of here, so... Yeah, the eco is running all over the place. And to be fair, like, he does spend a lot of time into the carrier, but, like, he's still going to take that trade when he ends up fighting the skims, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so now he's isolated the eco. He may actually choose to ignore the skims, but it looks like, no, he's going to actually focus them down, which is probably the right move. But we did still lose, like, 3 salvagers, I think. Yeah, and at that point, I recognize, like, this is just going to keep going. There's no point continuing this, so... Gonna choose to GG, and Moose manages to win game 2 there. Or, 3, sorry. Sometimes keeping numbers, keeping track of numbers is difficult for me, you know? So very nicely done by him. And yeah, like I said, like, he's done enough preparation that he doesn't really... He doesn't just die to the rail rush either time here. I mean, definitely in game 3 he made some mistakes. Or, sorry, game 2. That's so bad with numbers, man. Why am I going into engineering if I'm so bad with numbers, you ask? But yeah, no, he definitely lost game 2 to a couple of mistakes there with bad trades, but like game 3 he didn't make him and he stomped. And to be fair, like he did change the build order as well, but yeah, I felt like I was kind of surprised. He's really done a lot better at countering the rail rush. I don't feel confident just rail rushing him to death. So obviously game 4 is not really a rail rush map either. It's Taurian Crater, of course, which is quite large. This is Moose's pick. Very big rush distance, you know. You can rail rush in this map, mind you, but the real problem, I think, is that this base here and this base here are not linear as they are on other maps. They're actually, like, you can choose which one to go to. If I happen to push where he doesn't have a base there, I feel like I'm just wasting a ton of time. And even if I do push him off of his second, he can just rotate it over here to that 3rd position. So it's going to be really, really difficult for me to get a whole lot done with the rail rush in the opener, so I just don't want to go for it at all. Ref mode instead getting locked in very quickly here, but I keep the base burner this time. And my plan is not to go to 3 base fast as I did in game 1, but instead to do some 2 base plays here. Not like really hard commit 2 base where I like go with a carrier power play or something like that, but I just want to I want to get up onto 2 base and then start really pressuring to get artifacts out. That's kind of my game plan for now. And then I can expand to 3 as I'm fighting him in the midfield. LAV Fab is started for Moose here. And there's the scanner. Oh, there it is. I was trying to find it. Obviously, the scanner does kind of give away what's going on here, but it's not even close enough to scout the carrier, which is a little bit funny. Maybe that's why I couldn't find it. Yeah, it's definitely misplaced here. But the ALM gives a ping that the scanner is there, even if it's like this far away, so like I really should have just brought it in a bit closer. Seeing this base runner here though and no LAVs out, I actually figured, yeah, okay, he must be going SC first. There's no way otherwise. I like this move, a little cheeky. Just drops the targeting jammer onto that scanner there. And so both of us kind of know what the other person is doing. I do have some skims coming out now with this PC. So I don't plan on just giving up the early game trades. But we're both up to eco at about the same time. I actually have more salvagers than him though, so looks like his money has instead gone into AV Fab a little bit faster. And I'll probably be getting a tech too, but don't know about that just yet. We'll have to see. I've honestly forgotten what I do, but I think it's a soul chips at this point. Pretty standard early game then. Scanner is finally killed off here as well. And both of us going to start moving out into the midfield with our base runners and the strike craft to try and support them. It looks like the first scuffle is going to go down right over here at about the 3-minute mark. Almost exactly, in fact. At first, a little bit of a good like initiate for that one LAV, but I do actually have high ground here, so he's going to want to just back away for now. First trade goes pretty well here. There's also a base runner heal off of this, well, base runner, I guess, as you would expect. So this is actually going to go pretty badly for Moose. It's a 2-for-1. Are you seeing this too? Is this skim just like stuck facing the wrong direction? That's pretty anomalous. Well, I don't know why that happened. Oh well, it is indeed a Soul Chip Fab coming up for me, but I also have that second PC coming afterward. And he picks up an artifact here. I'm probably going to deny it with the skims, but it looks like for some reason I want to go in on this Tardian Jammer first. That's probably a mistake. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to send it down there to go deal with this base runner. And a little bit out of position, this base runner. I mean, once those skim fights didn't go his way, he probably just wanted to get this guy out of here. He does, like, deny the artifact for me, which is, I guess, a little bit of an advantage, but doesn't get too much with this. And it will go down, so maybe a bit of pressure alleviated, but not really worth. This is definitely not a great play with that base runner. Mooning. What is that? Like the base runner is pulling its pants off and like showing the rear end to me, where like the turret comes out. Oh no, because it's a Saban base runners. Well, I guess they can still drop like anti-air turret posts. Oh, the skimmer. Oh, okay, yeah. Nah, you're totally right, man. Now that I think about it. Sorry, I'm slow this morning. I'm trying to like kill the probe with my carrier, by the way. That's a little funny. I'm gonna rotate the PC out now, but it's getting carrier blocked like horribly badly here. I'm trying to kill that probe. I'm like really going in hard on it. Anyway, it's Interceptor Fab coming out for me. Straight to attack bombers for Moose though. That's quite anomalous. We don't usually see this. But obviously, if you get a good reveal with the bombers, it can make a big deal. He's got AVs to defend. He's not feeling pressured at home here. But his problem is he really doesn't have that much eco, to be honest with you. Like, I'm getting up onto 3 base a bit faster than him. He does have an SC coming out here, but yeah, there's my 3 base. And the other problem, of course, is I do actually have Interceptor Tech done already, so... But the AV's doing a really good job of holding me off. And I didn't realize at the time, he's actually trying to deny vision. He doesn't want me to see that the attack bomber fab is like on the way here. Or rather, I can't actually see that because it's coalition, but I'll be able to see that fighter and gunship is done. So yeah, he's doing a good job denying this though. Just now starting to get some armor upgrades on the heavy vehicles. But I do have interceptors coming out, which unfortunately he just doesn't know about. In fact, I think this is the first time he's seeing assault ships here, so... The music is starting to pick up. Very nicely timed. When I realize it's bombers, I'm definitely going to want to go for that afterburner tech, but at the moment I don't really realize that that's what I need, so... Kind of going without for now. He's setting up a bit of a concave here to try and fall on these assault ships, but... As you can see, I recognize that I'm just going to try and get up onto this hill here where I can have a bit of high ground. The skims are here too, and as I've said before, like, they actually trade pretty well. Forces the smoke out of this guy to keep him alive. And now once that smoke expires, I'm just going to instantly try and dunk that assault ship there. But the first bomber is done, and it's actually launching right now. This trade, though, definitely going my way, and partly... No, actually, we both have armor, too. So I guess it's just good micro, I suppose. I remember, we used to be so used to the idea that... Oh, I saw the bomber there, actually. Did you see that? Ah. That's probably going to be really impactful. I got a quick glimpse of the bomber, it looks like, so... Do I win this fight off the back end? I should, but he's actually got high ground here. I need to be careful about this. Looks like the wounded guy's back though, so if he wants to go on it, he's not going to get any splash damage. Yeah, this is going to go okay for me. But I saw the bomber, so I actually know it's out there. I think, yeah, missile ship fab teching for a reason then. And probably interceptor fab going to come out too, but you can see those interceptors wanted to dump damage on the assault ships, right? But then they instantly, like, stopped and, like, moved out here because they saw that bomber. So he actually... He doesn't realize, I don't think, but I actually know what he's going for here, which is really unfortunate for him. Anyway, what I was going to say is that back when assault ships first... AVs were buffed so that they actually, like, do damage, because, you know, it used to be they did 11 damage per shot, which was, like, really nothing. Bomber's coming in here, by the way, going to try and split the eco, but he's actually not going for this one, he's going for the next one. This is great for me, though, because it gives my interceptors more time to kill them, so I'm totally okay with this. I just need to make sure I don't lose all the eco here to the bomb. Oh, it's actually on the PC. Oh, I don't like that, because you need 3 bombers to kill a PC if it's moving. Oh, but the interceptors are out of ammo. Oh my gosh, what a godsend. He's actually going to keep the bombers alive right now. Oh, wow. Oh, the base runner almost finished off one of them too, but not quite. Well, that's really, really nice for Moose then, eh? Still no armor 3 on either of us, so this fight could go either way, but this is a pretty good micro from him, and I'm not really microing at all, so... I think he wins this fight. Nice re-smoke as well. Yeah, he should win this. But yeah, back when AVs first... Well, it is 2 hits to kill it. Let's see, 3,500 with the PC. I can't remember what bomber damage is, but you can look it up. It is 2 hits to kill it, but if the PC is moving, then it won't die to it, so... The bomb misses, obviously. Nice flank, by the way. Eventually I'm going to finish this thought that I'm talking about. When the AV damage was changed from like 11 or whatever to, what is it now, 15, right? Well, I would never lie to you, A-game. I used to have a really hard time beating like AVs with assault ships. Because I was so used to like AVs really could not kill assault ships at all. So I mean, you could like 1v3. It was ridiculous, right? And I used to have a really hard time microing it. Like I just did not understand how it works. But you're basically just trying to like avoid you're trying to avoid taking like sustained fire where you can't capitalize on damage from you. Oh my gosh, you're right. Is there some modifier? Because like you saw, even with the PC dodging, he nearly died there, but maybe you're right. I guess I would lie to A-game. Anyway, these days, like, I've realized how to actually micro this, so it's not a fight that I'll lose like that anymore, but I used to be like, man, AVs are so freaking OP. It's not really true, you just have to learn how to not get owned by like the smoke. Bombers are launching now, by the way, I think on the base runners there, but I'm not actually... Maybe they're just dumping damage on the carrier, but at any rate, it's quite risky, because there's a lot of interceptors in the field here. A couple interceptors going down, though, because there are missile ships in the area, missile batteries, that is, for the coalition forces, but they do manage to get a kill on one of those bombers, nearly finished off that second one. It's looking like a bit of a crunch, though. I mean, obviously, if the carrier is here to help deal with my carrier, which it can't even really do, if I realized how far ahead I was, I'd probably just, like, right-click over here, but, yeah, he can't be on this side to deal with the AV push, and so this is looking pretty good for me. This fight, though, I'm really kind of badly split here. A lot of guys, like, over the dunes where they can't actually engage. And obviously, the missile battery's doing a really nice job not being in the fight, but warding off the interceptors from getting any hits in. Because they don't want to be in the fight, obviously, right? They would maybe die there. Ooh! Bomber narrowly cheats death as well. Very nice in it. Because obviously the missile batteries came over here, so as that bomber docked, there was a window where maybe the interceptors could have killed it, but they do manage to dodge that. I did get Afterburner, of course, trying to get trades like that. They wouldn't call it a trade. Picks, right? If I can pick off those bombers, that's very, very nice for me, but yeah, he manages to avoid that. Railgun Fab finished for me now. I do want to build a couple of those and maybe bring this lead to a win. But the big thing to note here, of course, is that I do actually have the game-winning artifact potentially picked up here, so Moose definitely is going to be feeling pressure to stop that. And he's launching a bomber right now. I don't know why, they're always invisible when they're on the deck. But interceptors are going to launch in response, and obviously that's because I know, like, yeah, he wants to bomb the artifacts, right? I know that, it's very telegraphed. And he'll get it if he goes for it, but if he does, he'll lose both of the bombers, right? obviously he does only just need 2, but like if he doesn't manage to get in there, maybe he needs to commit all 3. So this is really a tough situation. This is what we call desperado, right? So what he's gonna do instead of taking this horrible trade to just kill all, like lose all 3 of his bombers to kill a base runner, he's gonna actually bring the carrier forward and see if he can do a carrier block. If he can keep his missile batteries close, at least he can trade a couple interceptors for it, but he really doesn't have a choice though. He kind of has to go in on this base runner, so but he's actually managed to ward me off for now, so I'm gonna... Oh, and these interceptors are way too far away. Oh no, he used the bombers on a missile battery there. Oh dear, that's really quite a mistake. I think he'll lose both of the bombers as well anyway, although I'm gonna lose a lot of interceptors here too. Yeah, he did lose 2 bombers though, so they both went down. I lose all but 2 of the interceptors, but again, I don't really care. They did their job already. I mean, if this base runner gets out, I win the game, so... Missile battery's now probably going to die too, but again, their job is sort of done. There's only 1 bomber left in the hangar, so I'm not too worried about losing them here. They do manage to get a lot of damage on the carrier too with that barrage ability. And if he doesn't leave his carrier here, the space runner will just extract, so he kind of has to, but if he does, he'll die. So, I mean, there's really no correct answer for Moose at this point. So yeah, I mean, he's gonna stick in, which means he'll lose his carrier, but if he didn't, he would lose the artifact, so... I don't, you know, think he's making a mistake here. There really just was nothing to do at this point. And down he goes. And that will indeed be the series then, 3-1 for me. But good on Moose for taking a game off, and very good on him for repelling the rail rush in a pretty convincing way, to be honest with you. I mean, in Game 2, obviously, like I said, he did make a couple mistakes, which ended up costing him, but, like, in Game 3, he really just, countered it perfectly. And I realized after the series, like, I'm not sure how confident I really am rail rushing Moose anymore. It used to be, well, you know, he's almost top tier, but I mean, I can still just 3-0 him if I want to with a rail rush, right? But it's not true anymore. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with his progress there, but I'm also very pleased, of course, to be advancing to the finals of JC8, which have already been played, and we'll be casting them soon. Not today, but soon enough. Yeah, thanks guys for tuning in, and I hope you stick around and enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.